And now, everybody, we are going to move on to
I'm going to talk dirty to you for a second. Math.
Double D's, sexy numbers. Dan, what do you got for us this week? Take it away, buddy.
Okay, so we're about six. First of all, if you have a comment about statistics, leave it down in the comments, and I will talk about it, and I'll give you a shout out. But we're about 6 months away from Spectacular, give or take a week, and I would like to do a midway progress report based on every faction progress, based on how they were last year. So the same time last year, how well they're doing or how well they're failing. Whoops, first, all right. There we go. So we'll start with the dungeon. They're in first place. In 2020, they had 1 win and 6 defeats that totaled 4 points. And obviously, they have 45 points with 12 wins and 8 defeats. And there's 3 points in Star Wars, 13 points in IG, 10 in teams, and 19 in singles. So they're doing really well this season. The Finstock Exchange, last year they had 8 wins and 2 defeats. They were actually number 1 last year at the same time, and they had a total of They had a total of 22 points. I have my note. I gotta see my notes. Hold on. So yeah, they had. Sorry. So yeah, they had 22 points. And this year they've had 14 wins and 6 defeats, all totaling 33 points. So they're actually doing really well. There's only a little bit that they could have done better, but they're still improving on what they did last year.
And it's because of the dossier, motherfucker.
Yep. I hate to agree with Frenchie, but yeah, it's the dossier. Can I say something really quick, Double D?
Sure. What do you got?
I was just gonna say, if you compare the dungeon to Finstock Exchange, which all of us like to do, it does look like Dungeon's got a lot of like a top heavy, getting a lot of points with your big players. Comparing it to Finstock Exchange, where all of not all of them, but a lot of them have gotten 1 or 2 wins, and it's kind of more evenly spread throughout all these rookies who are doing what they were brought in for. At least that was my opinion on it.
Yeah, well, we were actually gonna discuss. We're gonna discuss all of the.
My bad.
At the we're gonna talk about the top 4 in the midway, and then we're gonna talk the final 4 at the end. So.
All right, keep doing it. I won't cramp your style.
But that's okay. That's okay. Appreciate some comments. With the Quirky Mercs last year, they had 2 wins and 4 defeats, totaling 6 points, 3 in IG and 3 in teams. And obviously, they're doing a lot better with 30 points, with 7 wins and 9 defeats. Well, most of that is title defenses and number 1 contender matches for the most part. In 4th place, we have Corruption. In last year, they had 2 wins and 4 defeats, totaling 5 points, 3 in Star Wars, 2 in teams. And this year, they have 9 wins, 9 defeats, totaling 29 points. So they're doing really well. So, Taco, if you had to be the advisor of the managers for each faction, and each faction could focus on 1 division, which division would you advise each manager to focus on for the next few months?
Well, knowing that we kind of just got done with our first Star Wars tournament, and I'm assuming the next one won't be for a little bit, I am looking at Corruption, knowing that Shannon's got how am I forgetting one of my favorite players' names?
Scrimshaw.
Yeah, she's got Scrimshaw, who hasn't played yet. Like, I'm thinking, take that Star Wars tournament. Like, we just saw how everybody else did. The next one that comes up, Scrimshaw, it's his to win. Put him in it, get him ready for it, get him completely focused up, because if his first match against Demolanta last year, he went toe-to-toe with him, he can do the same hardcore training Demolanta did and take that tournament and even take that belt, in my opinion. I would say definitely have them focus on getting that Star Wars, especially since they've already been doing so much in the other divisions.
Yeah, and I would for like if I was advising like the quirky mercs, I would say that they obviously with singles they're a bit low, but I would say look at IG because we are getting an IG tournament pretty soon, and they have Bibbs and they have Brendan Meyer, so they're going to get points in singles. I would say quirky mercs they should focus on IG. So let's move on to the bottom four. With in fifth place we have the Den. Last year they had 6 wins and 4 defeats, totaling 15 points. This year they're doing pretty good, but it could obviously improve. They have 23 points with 8 wins and 7 defeats, so they're doing some improvement. Swag last year they had 4 wins, 4 defeats, with 13 points. And this year they have 5 wins and 8 defeats, and they have the exact same amount of points. You have to factor in that -1 from teams into the grand total of I think it's 14. So it's so they have a total of 13 points. So they're doing exactly the same in points wise as they were last year. The usual suspects, they're next. Last year they had 3 wins and 2 defeats with 7 points. And based on the most recent win, they have 6 wins, 8 defeats, and a total of 11 points. So they're really doing a little bit better, but obviously they're still suffering. The Stars, they had 2 wins and 4 defeats last year, totaling 6 points in IG and in singles. Now they have 5 wins and 10 defeats this year, and they have again, still they have 11 points as well. So they're doing slightly better, but not as good as they should be doing, giving that giving their roster. And that's their final one. So my final question for you is, first of all, do you think that it was a mistake for Kate splitting up the Pride and forming the Outsiders? Because Ben Goddard and Rachel seemed to be really good as a team last year, as we noticed from here. That's all their points, but they're not getting any points. They didn't get any points with the Outsiders. Do you think it was a mistake, or do you think it was a wise decision?
I mean, hindsight's always 2020. Now knowing how their team's tournament went, of course, it's easy to say, oh, they had more success with the Pride. But if you would bring me back in time without that knowledge and somebody asked me straight up, hey, you're in charge, who do we put Ben with? I would say Preston. Are you kidding me? Preston. So hindsight's 2020. I think it was the right move. She can't see the future. She didn't realize how good or how competitive that team tournament was going to be, which was super competitive. I think that they make a good team. They just ran into a buzzsaw. I do think that they should keep them together, and that the Outsiders should I think they're going to have better luck later on.
Yeah, I do agree because we saw Paul Preston play in his last singles match. It was a vast improvement of what he did in the past, and of course he still lost, but it was still an improvement. It's like Adam Witt, he improved in Star Wars where he was almost perfect. He just had a few missteps. But I don't think it was a mistake, but I think that they should have had at least. I think maybe a little bit more focused on Ben a little bit because he wasn't as strong. I feel like he was the weaker of the competitors, to be honest, between the two of them. But I don't think it was a mistake. And do you think that with Swag, do you think that they could actually turn that -1 into a positive, or with Final Exam, or do you think that they can form a new team to get a better score?
I have an unpopular opinion when it comes to Lon. I know that he has bad days, but I don't think Final Exam's done. Like, you can go ahead and give up on them if he wants to, but look at his team. Like, looking at Swag as a whole, you got a strong Star Wars guy, and then you got a strong IG guy, but your singles and teams are pretty on the shoulders of Paul and Lon. You kind of can't give up on them, I don't think. And Final Exam gave us a lot more better matches than bad matches. Like
Cool.
Lon has always suffered from the yips, and if I could solve them, I would, because I love Lon and I wish he didn't suffer from them. But that was it. He got the yips. Paul was on fire, and he got taken down with him, and it was really hard to watch. And I don't even like thinking about it because it was a really sad match for me because I really like Violent Zan. I think keep them together and watch Lon get angry and destroy. And yes, Midterms is a strong B team.
Yeah, Midterms are a strong team, but obviously they do. In business, you want to have all your divisions making money, because otherwise, why have it? So this is what's actually bringing Swag down, is that -1. Because if they didn't have it, they would be at 14 points instead of 13. But hopefully they can bounce back, because they have the exact same scores they did last season. So they could actually, and they ended the year with being in second place. So we still have 6 months left in the season. They can still bounce back. I'm not counting out anyone as of right now. But yeah, I think that even the final ones still have a chance. Even the Stars. Well, speaking of the Stars, we have Roxy Schreier on the phone. Roxy, what do you think about my numbers?
You had the sexiest numbers by far.
You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.